All right, all right. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. What up, world? The Albanian Syndicate, salute to you, Joshua. Joshua Duran, salute to you, Alyssa, Anthony. We are in effect. Here we are, a new episode of Live from the Lab, episode 7. Episode 7 here on qunique TV. I am qunique for the let's try that again. I am qunique for those that don't know. From the Arsonist, Rocksteady Crew, Uncle Howie Records, all of that good stuff, man. And good to see you beautiful people here in the room today, man. I'm really excited to get into this episode. Before we start, I just want to say today's super chat, if you donate to the super chat today, if we can hit 10 donations today, I will be playing an unreleased track between myself and Lord Goat, aka Gore-Tex from Nonfiction, that has yet to be released. So you will hear it live here on YouTube for the first time, but we got to hit 10 super chats, all right? So that's the deal with that. Once we hit 10, I will definitely play it for all the party people to check out. So that's where we're at with that right now. A couple announcements before we get into the meat and potatoes of today. Let me get over here to do it. So I got a show coming up in, what's today? Tomorrow. Let's see if you could see it right. I put it on the desktop. Boom. So tomorrow I'm doing a show for Excursions Radio tomorrow night. It's a replay of the Quincy Jones episode that they did. As you could see, they played some of Quincy Jones' lesser-known music and soundtrack stuff along with hip-hop that sampled him. So it's like a mashup between hip-hop and jazz and some of the people that have, and some of the music that has been sampled that have mashed up hip-hop and jazz. And I will be getting up and doing a quick song, but I just definitely wanted to be a part of this, celebrating Excursions Radio's 7th year anniversary. It's going to be at the Paper Tiger Bar. You'll have to go on Instagram and look that up. It's in LA, of course. So please, if you're in the area, DJ Rhythmatic, myself, some amazing musicians that are from the Herbie Hancock Institute of Music are going to be there. It's the first time I've ever done anything like this. And so if you're in the area, you want to come check out a really cool jazzy hip-hop vibe, come on out to the Paper Tiger tomorrow night and have some fun with that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. That's going to be exciting. All right. So this is what I want to do. I had to backtrack a little bit and think about what I wanted to do for this episode. And what I want to do is, what I want to begin is like a little mini-series in this, like a sub-series within my normal series. And I want to review my catalog. And it's basically just to educate people on when certain albums came out, who produced what went into the song mentally, spiritually, what are some of the behind the scenes funny antics or just crazy moments, and the outcome. And sometimes let me not get ahead of myself. What made me want to do this was I noticed that first I would get a lot of, oh, glad to see you back, which I never left. As qunique, I've been releasing music consistently, whether it's been singles or albums or collaborating with another artist. I've never left. Just because I was doing another genre of music, I never left qunique. I never, this is who I am. This is a part of me. And so I felt the need to want to just do a deep dive into my catalog and just, aside from educating people on behind the scenes and production notes and credits and all of that, just to get some of your comments and questions and do my best to answer what it is that you have on your mind about each album. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to start with my debut album. I will definitely get into other albums like the Arsonist albums and the Nomads release and even possibly go into the rock stuff with Stillwell and what I'm doing with Mother Fuzz currently. But right now, we're gonna start it off with my solo debut, Vengeance Is Mine. Now, originally, I got my cheat sheets, of course, so I'm gonna be peeking down occasionally. Wait, let me get a little sippity dip. Got the Madball. Shout out to Madball. For those that know New York hardcore legends and kings and all of that stuff. Shout out to the whole DMS Massive and the whole New York hardcore, the whole hardcore scene in general. I got mad love for the New York hardcore scene and all the people that participate. Okay, so Vengeance Is Mine was originally released on Uncle Howie Records. It was released sometime in October. I believe either it was October 4th or 24th or something like that. I don't remember the exact date. I probably should have written that down. But it was released in October of 2004. Ill Bill was the executive producer. It was on his label, Uncle Howie Records. And what was special about working with Bill was that he didn't just put up the money and disappear. He not only was the executive producer, but he took like a Rick Rubin approach with this album. And what I mean by that is that he was there for every single session, getting me to be the best that I could possibly be for this release. So anything from, pushing me to approach things differently or getting the real crazy ideas and thoughts and concepts from me, and I'll explain further as we move along. The entire album was engineered and mixed by Elliot Thomas, and there's a plethora of producers that as I go through each cut of Vengeance Is Mine, I will name the producer and whatever I have. Now, what I have here, a very rare copy of Vengeance Is Mine, still in the shrink wrap. This is my only copy. It's a hard, very challenging piece of vinyl to get a hold of, man. And they're not cheap. I've seen some go for $300 to $500. This is still in the shrink wrap. I don't plan on opening this. Obviously, for myself, it has a deep meaning. It's my first solo album, and a lot had happened before and after the fact, as you could see in the back. Executive producer Ill Bill, Uncle Howie Records, all the song titles. This character right here. What up, Matt Banks? Salute to you. What up? Thank you. Welcome to Live from the Lab at qunique. I was talking about this in one of the previous episodes. So when you look at the cover, this now, first of all, probably should have dug it up, but for those that don't know what inspired me to do this cover, there's a mini series that Marvel put out for the Punisher. It was his first mini series. I think it was his first, the character's first solo series, and I believe it was issue number 3, where the Punisher is standing in front of the same character. So that was my inspiration. Was this comic book? Stutter, I don't know if you could find it really quick, but if you could find that Punisher miniseries issue number 3 and shoot it to my desktop, I would appreciate it. If not, it's all good. So this is, oddly enough, this isn't like current graphic design. Like, this wasn't put together with green screen or done on a computer. It was straight up, my mother drew this character. She painted it, did all the numbers, everything. My mother's an artist, and obviously the thing's about 6-7 feet tall. And I stood in front of it, and Evie Toro at the time, Evie Quiles, she was the photographer. She took the pictures, and then my man Edgardo, who is a comic book artist, comic book producer, he did all the other graphics and stuff like that. And actually, my logo For those that know the group Lords of Brooklyn, Caves, his wife made my logo for me. So shout out to Donna for doing that. And shout out to everybody that participated to get this album done. Crazy blast from the past. But we're going to go over, what's up, Ja? Salute to you. Welcome to Live from the Lab with qunique. Today we're going to talk about Vengeance is Mine. And with each, maybe not the next episode, but there's going to be episodes in the future where I'll go over Between Heaven and Hell and The Mechanic and Black Coffee. But today we're going to go over Vengeance is Mine and what went into it. Okay, we're going to start off with the first song on Vengeance is Mine, The Resume. That was, I produced that track. And what I wanted to do, because you got to understand that Vengeance came a little bit after The Arsonist had finished. And when you're an artist in a group, and then you go from a group to being soloed, it's an odd, for myself, speaking from my own personal experience, it's an odd place to be, because now you're responsible for everything that moving forward. So The Resume was my way of re-educating the listener on my highlights, where I've been, who I am, my humble beginnings. Like, I talk about rhyming in street ciphers, and then, being on stage, opening up for KRS-One, Run DMC at Madison Square Garden, which was, that's a whole other story. But so The Resume, the song was like, a verbal resume, educating the listener, like, here, this is where I've been, this is where I've done, these are my stripes, and I even, I've maintained the Arsonist connection in there, my rock steady roots, everything pretty much is in there. And I talk about, rapping on pop songs, because I wrote for CNC Music Factory once, rapping on rock songs, which would eventually snowball into where I am at currently as a singer and all of that, but that's a whole nother episode. And so that was the whole point of The Resume. And I ended up, now I'm going to explain. Last year, 2024, was the 20th anniversary of Vengeance is Mine. And I decided, after watching a documentary with the band U2, I'm saying it all weird, I was listening to Bono talk, and he was talking about how he rewrote and re-recorded some of their songs, and they re-uploaded it. He changed some of the lyrics for whatever his personal reasons were. And so when I heard that, I got inspired, and I wanted to do the same things, especially for Vengeance is Mine. And I'll explain why. Wait, let me just make sure I what up, Thin Glizzies? Sup, fam? Welcome to Live in the Lab with qunique. Somebody. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Matt Banks. Salute to you, baby. Thank you. Thank you. Now, getting back. So I rewrote The Resume for a couple of reasons. First of all, I got into a point. Now, I hope you can understand this. As an artist, when you start out, your intentions are pretty simple, I think. You want fame, you might want women, you might want men, whatever your twist is. You might want money. Sometimes being a musician is almost like second, third, fourth on the list of your intentions. As my career evolved, and I evolved as a vocalist, as a lyricist, as a musician, my intentions came more and more clearer to my mind and my soul. And so when I went back to review my catalog, and this is going to be a separate episode of the whole story of my crossroads. But when I went back to review Vengeance is Mine, and particularly because we're talking about Vengeance is Mine, I could no longer co-sign some of the things that I had said, and some of the things just came across a little too primitive and too sloppy. And I know for certain people it's like, nah, but you got to leave it, that's sacred, that shows people growth. I mean, if you own the CD, it's still there. Like I'm not repressing the CD. It was just more for the upload. And one of the key factors of me changing a lot of things on Vengeance is Mine was I can no longer condone from myself. I am not on a crusade. I'm not here to change anyone. I'm not here to change anyone's perspective or opinion or whatever. But for myself as an artist, I can no longer give in to misogyny when it comes to lyrics. I can't do that. I got a lot of women in my family that I love and I hold sacred, and I could no longer look myself in the mirror and be okay with me saying some crazy shit on some songs. And so I needed to reapproach it and redo it. So I hope some of you can understand that some people don't like it. I've had people thank me for changing the lyrics, and I've had people say, man, I wish you didn't do that. To me, it was something from my soul and for all the women around me, whether it's family, whether it's friends, it was out of respect for them. And so I hope you can understand it. And also, the other approach was to say my shit better on certain songs. There are certain songs that I wouldn't touch. They are sacred, and I get it. And we'll get to those. But I just needed to say that starting with the resume. So I hope you understand that. You know what I mean? So that's the deal. Thank you, Nasty Ruckus. Salute to you. Welcome to Live from the Lab with qunique. Lane, what up, what up, what up? Bananas, what up? Thank you, Bananas. I appreciate that. Salute to you. Salute to you. And don't forget, y'all, we're doing the super chats. If we hit 10 super chats, I'm going to play an unreleased song that I did with my homie, Lord Goat, a.k.a. Gore-Tex from Nonfiction. But we got to hit 10 super chats to do that. All right? And I'll play it right here, the whole song, right on YouTube, live, just for y'all. It's going to be beautiful. But we got to hit 10 super chats, okay? Okay, let's get back into the deal. Oh, and also, if you got questions, use the super chats for questions, and I'll get to your questions specifically, okay? So please make sure, let's keep it neat and clean and in order. Okay, so we just went over the resume. We went over the start of Vengeance is Mine. Now we're going to get into Diamond in the Rough. Diamond in the Rough. Uh-oh, we got a super chat. We got a super chat. There we go, baby. There we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Salute to you, Bananas. I appreciate that. Detroit Throwers, salute to you. Salute to you, baby. Welcome to Live in the Lab. Okay, so now we're going to get into Diamond in the Rough. That song was produced by Juju from the Beatnuts. One of my homies. Obviously, if you're a hip-hop head, you know who, if you're a real hip-hop head, you know who the Beatnuts are. Psycho Les and Juju, their legacy, their production credits, everything about those two is just legendary. I've been blessed with the opportunity to work with Psycho Les on the second Arsonist album. I've toured with the Beatnuts, with the Arsonist, and I've worked with Juju. He worked with us on Vengeance is Mine, and one of the two tracks he produced was Diamond in the Rough. Now, Diamond in the Rough is the first track where I go personal and vulnerable. And the reason for that initially, peace to my brother Swell. Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to show love to my arsonist brother, my brother Swell. Salute to you, baby. Love you, baby. Bill Shapiro, what up? What up? Salute to you, man. Salute. Throw goons, salute. Welcome to Live in the Lab with Q. Every Wednesday we do this here on YouTube. Okay, so Diamond in the Rough was that moment where it was the first moment on the album where I go totally vulnerable. And then at the same time, I give flower. And it's dope that Swell is in the room because he's one of the people that was there for Vengeance is Mine. We're reviewing, Swell, I know you just got in the room. We're reviewing Vengeance is Mine in this episode. And Swell was there for the whole ride, from getting on stage to being at the studio to everything, you know, watching me do vocals, watching the beats go down, everything. And he's one of the names I mentioned in Diamond in the Rough, along with Bill, Crazy Legs, Erica, you know, just giving flowers to people that were in my corner at a very rough time. I was going solo for the first time, and it was scary, you know, at times. And they made sure I wasn't alone. You know what I mean? So Diamond in the Rough is that song about the first verse is straight up like my childhood, what was going on. And then I start talking industry stuff. And then the third verse, I just give flowers to the people that were just really in the room at the time of Vengeance is Mine. And Swell is one of them. So that's the deal. Diamond in the Rough. Thank you. Thank you, Erica Q. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. So another super chat. Remember, we hit 10 super chats. I'm going to be playing an unreleased song of myself and Lord Goat, a.k.a. Gore-Tex from Nonfiction. But we have to hit 10 super chats. So that's the deal. All right, so that was Diamond in the Rough. We went over Diamond in the Rough. Let's get to the next. Of course, and I'll get into it again. What Erica is saying after she donated to the super chat. The next track, and I got the. Let me make sure I can find it right here. Okay, boom, boom, bow. Okay, so damn, I dropped my notes. Damn, son. These technical difficulties, man. All right, so that's page 4. I don't need page 4 yet. I don't need page 2 yet. I don't need page 3 yet. I got page 1. There we go. So the next song is One Shot. Here's the actual single. Let me make sure there's no light glare on there. That's the actual single released on Uncle Howie Records back in 2004. The vinyl, this is still in the shrink wrap. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm not sure if you got your copy. Not a lot of these floating around. Obviously, the pressing has stopped. And on the flip is Me That Too, but we're not up to that song yet. So One Shot. All right, let me put that over there. One Shot was produced by the homie Context, and I believe he was a dude that was from Denmark. Phil the G, what up? Salute to you, salute to you, salute to you. Yes, sir. Rest in peace, Uncle Howie. Big up, my brother, Lord Goat. Thank you, Phil the G. Welcome to Live in the Lab. So One Shot, produced by my man Context. I believe there was a homie that used to run with us. His name was Mass. There's a whole clique out in Denmark that we used to roll with. DJ Typhoon, DJ Noise, Mass, all of them. Salute to them. So Context hit me with a banger of a beat. It was a moment where it was like, that's one of those beats that I've always been looking for. He just came with it. And this song was more, I was dealing with the ups and downs of my personal journey being in the music business. I know we always hear songs about this, and I know a lot of you are used to songs like hearing about these. I was trying to make it a little more personal. You know, everything I dealt with from losing a group, having a son, watching Fat Joe and Big Pun pave the way for Puerto Rican rappers. I happen to be half Puerto Rican. I'm also half Italian. And just a lot of the pitfalls and things that we have to overcome, or I had to overcome in this industry. And wrapping it up with the term one shot was just reminding people, life is short. We get one shot at this. So take your shot. You're going to have a lot of chances to tweak it, to correct it, to put it in the right place and do what you got to do, come up with the proper strategy and all of that. But you got one shot. Don't sleep, man. Do what you got to do. My best example of this is crazy. This is a crazy story. I don't know all the details. But when A Tribe Called Quest released the Low End Theory, there's a song called The Scenario. And shortly after Scenario, they did the Scenario remix. And the first rapper on that song was Kid Hood. He had one shot, and he dropped his bars, and slowly after that, he passed away. So he is forever immortalized on the Scenario remix by A Tribe Called Quest and Leaders of the New School. There is no more output from Kid Hood, but he took his shot, and that's my point of that song. So I'm not going to go crazy into it, but that's the deal of One Shot. Next, Okay, this is a little bit of a rare pressing right here. Next, we're gonna get into the setup. Now, this is one of the we had like a limited run of the setup with artwork as a single. How am I doing this? There we go. There we go. It's hard. It's hard to go backwards with the camera and all of that. But there's a picture. That's my son at the time, and he's holding up a picture of me and my mom because it kind of gives you a feeling of what the song is going to be about. And this song, this is a crazy one because, so first of all, this song was produced by Necro. And this track, Necro just hit the nail on the head as far as what the song was going to turn into. I remember hearing the track and instantly writing the verses. It wasn't something that was complicated for me. It was like, it's kind of tough to explain. The best way to explain it, there's two ways to explain it. Whenever I talk about Vengeance Is Mine, I always tell people that album is a public exorcism because there are times where I reach deep, deep, deep places of anger and darkness. And my words allow me to let it out as if I'm being exorcised by some priest or whatever. And so that's what happened with the setup. It just happened. And this song ended up becoming one of the more important songs of my catalog for a lot of people. This song is the most realest song I ever wrote. Everything you hear on this song happened. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the people that I mentioned. It's unfortunate for the people involved, the whole nine. But that's the story. That's the truth. That is my story. And it was rough. And the track gained this life that I didn't even anticipate. At first, I remember writing the song, recording it, and then feeling kind of nervous about it because, you know, hip hop has always been a strange place when it comes to vulnerability and what you want to talk about and the whole like aura you want to put out. You want to be a tough guy, you want to be a thug, you want to be this, you want to be that. For me, sure, I like the hot 16s. I like playing the tough guy. I love the street shit. I love all of that shit. But because of the type of person that I am, I also like expressing myself and sharing and being vulnerable. I guess that's why I was such a grunge rock fan. And grunge rock had a lot to do with Vengeance Is Mine. A lot of people don't know that because of Alice in Chains and Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and the Screaming Trees and so on and so forth. Because a lot of those bands were so heavy yet so vulnerable in what they were saying, it made it, I felt okay to say what I had to say. I felt okay to share my truth because of those guys. So the setup is a direct connection to that whole planet. And that song just triggered like an onslaught of like DMs and messages and comments of people thanking me for creating such a song, thanking me for writing a song because they could relate and it helped them and it enabled them to heal. So when you write a song like that and that's the result, money and getting on stage and fame, none of that shit means anything when that is the outcome. I'd rather help you, and if my words are helping you therapeutically to get to a better place, then man, that's golden. That's it, man. That's perfect for me, man. So thank you for using it. Thank you for using my song as medicine amongst probably a million others. I appreciate it, and I feel connected because we can all relate to trauma. So that's the deal with the setup, man. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. 14 years of rap. What up, Anthony O'Sullivan? Salute to you. Welcome to Live in the Lab. Live from the lab, excuse me. Yes, 14 years of rap. I'm gonna briefly talk about that in this episode. Today we talking Vengeance is Mine. All right, we up to page. Where we at? Where we at? Did I lose myself already? Okay, I got you. All right, we up to page 3. Let me get a little boost. Matt Banks, there you go, son. Half Puerto Rican. I'm gonna read your comment, Matt. Hey, for real, you are one of my favorite MCs. Thank you, and influences for real, and I appreciate that. I'm half Puerto Rican and half English. Salute. That's my nieces right there. That's my nieces right there. I had Arsonist on tape. That's a hard tape to find. I only have, out of all the arsonists, I'm the only one that has it on tape. So that's a tough tape to find. It was a repeat. Thank you. I'm also a big metalhead. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your donation. Remember, we get 10 super chats. I'm playing an unreleased track of me and Lord Goat, a.k.a. Gore-Tex, but we got to get to 10. But thank you. Thank you, Matt Banks. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for your love and support. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Let's get a little round of applause. Thank you. Okay. We up to the next song. This one's gonna throw you off a loop. Let me get a little. Put this over here. I don't want to spill anything. Sorry if I did that. I shouldn't have did that on the mic. Peace, Detroit. Let me see. In nuclear medicine, man. Like, oh my God. Detroit, if you're talking to my verse, I'm not really. I have to think about it. Give me a second. I'm gonna try to refresh my memory. Underground Hustler, salute to you. Welcome to Live from the Lab. Okay, so we are reviewing Vengeance is Mine tonight. We're gonna get to the next track. That's Nature of the Beast. Oh, thank you, Alyssa. Thank you for your donation. Thank you. I don't know how many super chats we're up to yet. But we got 4. We got 4 super chats, y'all. We got 4. We're trying to get to 10 so I can play that unreleased track for the first time ever. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, Nature of the Beast. This track was produced by I3, which I believe they were called Increments and Instruments, or Instruments and Increments. And I got connected through them by my homie DJ Presto One. He's been my DJ for a million years. He's out in Vegas, one of the best turntablists on the planet. Just beautiful soul, great dude, one of my best friends. Now, Nature of the Beast, excuse me, I'm burping like a madman. This is a fictional story for the first time on the album. Now we're getting into the fiction. You know, it's a story about a drug dealer. Drug dealers going to war after a kingpin's death. That was the overall synopsis, and to have like some sort of plot twist at the end of the story. I love the way I3 just shifted the track. So if you're listening to it, the track just goes on this crazy mission, and obviously I added all the scratches and samples and stuff, and I tried to make it as cinematic as I possibly could. Now, what most people don't know, and I think I'm saying this for the first time about Nature of the Beast, is that the movie Chinese Connection by Bruce Lee is what inspired me to do the song. For those that don't know, it's actually, I forgot when it came here that it got lost in translation. I don't think it was supposed to be called Chinese Connection. It was supposed to be called Fist of Fury, and Fist of Fury was supposed to be called Chinese Connection or whatever have you. But it's the character Chen Che, and he comes back from studying abroad, and he comes back to find out that his teacher has been murdered, and after he goes through a moment of grief, he goes on his own personal investigation of what happened to his teacher because he doesn't believe that his teacher got sick and died. And he ends up finding out that it was an inside job and a rival school had killed his teacher. And Bruce Lee goes to work and ends up, putting that school down to rest. And so that is what Nature of the Beast is about, and that is what inspired me to do Nature of the Beast. That is the simple explanation for that beautiful song. All right, now, where are we up to now? Okay, now we're up to Me That's Who. Anthony, thank you. Victoria, thank you for your donation. Ladies and gentlemen, we hit the halfway mark on the Super Chats. We are now at 5 of 10. Remember, once we hit 10, I'm going to play an unreleased track by myself and Lord Goat, a.k.a. Gore-Tex of Nonfiction. So we're almost there. We're at the halfway point. Thank you, Anthony. Yes, I appreciate that. I gotta do a little short on that. I gotta spit that verse one day in front of the camera. That's one of those verses. I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. Now we are up using my cheat sheets, y'all. Hold on, let me get a little sip, get that little energy boost, son. Oh, by the way, for those that are here for the first time, watching on the sideline or whatever, do me a favor, subscribe. Hit that subscription, hit the notification button. I do these every Wednesday, 6 p.m. on the West, 9 p.m. on the East, and wherever your time slot is for the rest of the planet. So come here every Wednesday. We talk all things music, all things that I've been a part of. I share stories. I show off paraphernalia, collectibles, all that stuff. Sometimes, with the Super Chats, I'll be playing some rare, unreleased stuff. So we're going to keep this party going. So thank you. Thank you all for being here tonight with me. I appreciate it. Okay, getting back into the mix. Me That's Who. Me That's Who was also produced by Juju of the Beatnuts, my boy Juju of the Beatnuts. This song, it didn't, this is one of those moments where you just want to say some old, you just want to say some old fly shit, some old punchline shit, try to get the oohs and ahs in the room. Tanya, thank you. Woo! Tanya went to work on that one. There we go. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. We up to 6 of 10 of the Super Chats, y'all. We getting there. Thank you so very much, Tanya. That is beautiful. Thank you very much. Who's that? The Bull, thank you. What up? Salute to you, baby. Thank you. Welcome to Live from the Lab of Q. Here we go. So, getting back into Me That's Who. Me That's Who was just me wanting to say some old fly shit, just punchlines. And what I tied it up with, wrapped it up in the ribbon with, was taking a quote from one of the most influential movies for rap music and street culture, and that is Scarface with Al Pacino. Who put this thing together, huh? Me, That's Who. You know the deal. If you know the movie, you know that part when he's in the hot tub and all of that. And now, as I said earlier about the resume, here's another point where when the 20th anniversary happened, I ended up rewriting this. And I'll repeat it again. It's a 2-part reason. First part was because of integrity. I told y'all, I've come to a place in my life where, out of dignity and respect for the women in my life, this is just me, my opinion, I could no longer co-sign misogynistic lyrics. Can't do it. I'm not a part of that. Sure, I'll talk that street shit, I'll talk that fly shit, whatever. But misogyny just ain't on my agenda anymore. I have too many women in my life, and I love them all. And I just can't do it. So that's the deal, why things got rewritten. Part 2 of that reasoning was because I just felt like I wanted to reapproach. Yo, if I'm just saying some fly shit, it's not like The Setup or One Shot or Diamond in the Rough where I'm speaking truth and I'm telling you my story and we all relate and it's healing music. this is just some fly shit, some hot 16 shit. So I just wanted to reapproach it and do a better job. I'm in a better place as a lyricist. I've evolved, I've grown. So that's the deal. That's why certain songs on the 20th anniversary of Vengeance is Mine got rewritten and redone. And I hope you could respect that. That's just my that's my journey moving forward. And I appreciate the respect. And I understand if you ain't feeling it. Still got the CDs out there. They're still intact with the original version. So that's the deal. Okay. The next song, H to the C. That was produced by this homie named Phase One. Now, I didn't really know him. I never really met him. I was told he did something with 50 Cent at that time. I was trying to find his credits. I couldn't find anything, but that's what I was told. And either way, he blessed me with such a dope track. Salute. Thank you, Anthony. That's dope. Salute to you. I appreciate that, man. Salute to all of Ireland. Thank you. Thank you. Ah, the bull. Salute, Pops. Love you. Love you. Love you. Salute to you. Okay, so H to the C, again, saying some old fly shit, a lot of street shit on that. But on that one, I got my brother Swell from the Arsonist. He's doing his little dance hall, ragamuffin style. You know, if you know Arsonist stuff, if you've been in the room with us, whatever, that's always been Swell and Freestyle's thing. They always took that's their love, that's their approach. So when Swell came with that style, I was like, yeah, man, that's you. You're about that. So he came with that. And then we also included E-Dot, who at the time was a label mate of mine on Uncle Howie Records. I believe E-Dot was from Toronto. He had like a very Chub Rock style. No disrespect, because we all love Chub Rock. But E-Dot was dope. I haven't heard or seen E-Dot in a long, long time. I know he stopped rhyming. It happens. But he took a shot. Like I said about One Shot, he took a shot. He's forever immortalized on Vengeance is Mine. Salute to E-Dot wherever he's at. And much love to my brother Swell for participating on that song, H to the C, man. That's a banger right there as far as some old fly shit. We are up to page number 3. Let me get into the comments here. España is in the house. Eraserhead. There we go, baby. Yes, sir. I was out there with Nonfiction. And then I went there solo. I did a song. I don't know if you can see the poster behind me. I got a couple of posters from Spain behind me, right up there with Baco, and the one underneath it. Let me see. Let me move out the way. See that one with Mobb Deep? I went out to Spain with Mobb Deep and all of that. It was a dope. Spain showed me a tremendous amount of love when Vengeance is Mine came out. I got to say that. Spain, I went north, south, east, west, all over Spain. It was just an incredible experience. So much love to Spain, much love to Ireland, much love to all of Europe. They always held me down, whether it was the Arsonist or just me as qunique. I can't wait to go back there and just get into the new grooves, the old grooves, and all of that. So I'm waiting for y'all promoters to get your act together. Get at the boy. Get at the kid. Word up. Okay. Where are we at? Let me make sure I don't mess this up, man. I'm keeping things in order here. Oh, okay. Yeah. I almost messed that one up. The next track is The Ugly Place. Woo! That one's produced by Necro. That track, as soon as I heard it, banger. Look, we all know Necro, his ability, lyrics, beats. I mean, that's a top tier dude. And it was an honor to be able to drop bars on his production. When the 20th, this is another one. When the 20th anniversary happened, I needed that song. I really needed to reapproach because that beat, what Necro did, that whole, I just needed to do it. I needed to approach it the correct way. And I'm not just talking about the fact that I no longer do misogynistic lyrics. It was just, even when I listened to the bars from back then. I sounded like I was unfocused. I was just trying to say shit on shock value. Nah, son. So that was the first one that I reapproached. And if you listen to it, the reapproach to me, I'm happy with it. I did a little short for it. I'm going to shoot a video for it later on. I love that track. I love everything about it. You know, coming from Brooklyn, if you're a Brooklyn head, if you're a New York City head, any city you from, you love your city. Your city helps you vibe. It becomes part of what you're writing, your soul. Brooklyn is a part of my soul, and that song just brings that out. And so Ugly Place is just that joint. It's some old fly shit, and I'm happy that I got a chance to reapproach it. So if you haven't heard the reapproach, go check out the reapproach. It's streaming everywhere, and that's the deal with the Ugly Place, man. I love that song. I love that track, and I'm happy that I got a chance to reapproach it. All right, let me take a look at the Fresco Latte. What's going on? Rap acapella, I sing. Yes. Yes. Adrian, what's up? Sister. Ed, what up? Salute to you. Welcome to Live from the Lab. Almost said the title to the other joint. Anthony O'Sullivan. I'm gonna get to that. I'm definitely getting to that song. That's a little later on the track list. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna get to that. Right now, we're up to Better You Than Me. That one I produced. That one was an indirect, it was my way of being indirect and clever with who I was, what I was seeing, and also giving some sort of wisdom at the time. Like, for instance, like the first line, I go, I was born in the borough of Biggie, bright lights, big city, and raised where the Yankees play, and thank the day. So listen to what I'm saying there. I was born in the borough of Biggie, Brooklyn. So I'm just trying to be clever and indirect on some De La Soul shit. Bright lights, big city, and raised where the Yankees play, the Bronx. So there was I was born in Brooklyn, and then later on in life, when my parents split, I went to go stay with my grandmother in the Bronx for a little bit. And I think that kind of like, that chapter of my life is what really jumps, like, it was the seed that I needed to start my career in hip hop. And then when I went back to Brooklyn, that's when everything unfolded. So that song, Better You Than Me, was like a wisdom / being clever about some of the things that I saw, or, just giving you a brief little history lesson on qunique. And I ended up reproducing it because I've always felt that the original version was very one-dimensional for me. And so I was able to go back and kind of give it a little more, not too much, not overproduce it like I was in Outkast or something like that. I mean, I love Outkast and their production. I'm just talking about me. I didn't just go nuts and get a live band and try to, go to town with it. It was more of, I just wanted to add a little more to it, give it a little more musicality. So that's what happened to Better You Than Me. There's a rock version of Better You Than Me on the qunique Iron Mike Medina Bridge, but we're going to review that album in a later episode. Let me see who's here. Jason DeGaglia, my brother. Yes, y'all. He was there in the Boogie Down Bronx when I got there. He was there for the beginning of our hip-hop journey together. We was breakdancing in the streets and graffiti tagging and DJing in my homie Pico's house and all of that stuff. Oh, we got another donation, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Matt Blank. There we are. We at 7 of 10, baby. We almost there. We almost there for the super chats, y'all. That's right, Swinton Avenue. I actually talk about Swinton Avenue in the song Crack Era, but we'll review that song when we get to talking about the Between Heaven and Hell album. Today we doing Vengeance Is Mine, but my brother Jason DeGaglia, he was there for the beginning of our career, man. He was there when Crazy Legs and Rocksteady used to come to his grandfather, my grandmother's block, and teach us how to break dance. And Jason was in one of the, Throg's Neck breaking crews, Feeling Fresh Breakers. Like, this is all OG real history shit. And we had the Cosmic Breakers and, Ike C from the Zulu Nation was up in the Throgs Neck Projects and all that. There's a lot of history there. And then we would go to the South Bronx to Jew Mans and get our like La Tigres and Cazelles and all of that good stuff. Jason knows what I'm talking about. Jason was on some fly shit way before I was. But so that's the deals about what I was saying, Better You Than Me. So let's get to the next song. Where we at? Oh, okay. So this song was mentioned. Santiago, Chile, what's going on? Jota, yeah. I got to read Matt's comment. Is this it? Matt, that's a dope question. I'm going to answer your question right now. Listen to the words was the sample. It was inspired by the B-Boys. Oh, man, I wish I could tell you the name of the artist. It's an old hip-hop record. I remember the sample, the vocal sample, not the singing sample, the vocal sample. The name of the singer is Trinier. And the vocal sample would go, beep, but boys, beep, but beep, boys. And then she would start, baby, boys, 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 listen to the word. Baby, I think they were called the B-Boys, if I'm not mistaken. My man Jason might know the name of the artist. I don't remember the name of the artist, but that's what inspired that whole track. And what's dope, I produced the track, and then my homie Scott Stallone co-produced it. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we got 6 more minutes to get to 10 on the Super Chats. If we don't hit the Super Chats, I can't play that unreleased track. So whatever you donate, we got to get it in. If you want to hear that unreleased track with me and my homie Gore-Tex, a.k.a. Lord Goat from Nonfiction, it's never been released. Y'all never heard it. We got to hit that 10 mark. We at 7. Expose, that's what's up. You know my homie K7 from TKA, I've done songs with him on some hip hop shit that they haven't been released yet either. But yeah, I know a lot of them freestyle homies. I've toured with some of them. I've known some of them for a long time. TKA, my man George Lamont. Shout out to all of them. Anyway, we gotta get into like them super chats, man. It says we only got 4 minutes. Actually, it says 4 minutes. I see. So let's get into them, man. Let's do it. Where we at? Canarciardi's Revenge, produced by Necro. That is another banger. I remember hearing that track for the first time, thinking some metal shit. You know, he has the guitar in there, and it's just like his drums just made it so aggressive. Now, initially, when I wrote that song, again, I tried to write some old street fly shit. And then when Lord Goat, came to drop his verse, I think he was the first one to actually drop a verse on it. I was writing, but he dropped the verse. He spoke about all the people in his neighborhood, and he gave such gruesome detail and such comedic detail that the rest of us just was like, we scrapped what we were going to do, and we just followed his lead. Kips Bay, that's right, baby. We just followed his lead. So each one of us wrote some gruesome and somewhat comedic detail about some of the people in our neighborhood. Now when I listen to it, I don't fully agree with what I wrote, and I'm very apologetic for some of the people that I might have like went a little heavy-handed on. Unfortunately, that's one of them songs that, you know, I couldn't really touch. That's one of the only songs that I couldn't reapproach because of who was involved, and I wasn't going to bother people with what my mission was. So I had to leave that song intact. But that's what that song was about. It's like gruesome comedic details about some of the people we came across in the neighborhood. That's Canarciardi's Revenge. Now, we're about to, here we go, Matt Banks, excuse me. Now we at 8. We need 2 more, y'all. We at the 2-minute mark. We need 2 more for me to play this unreleased qunique Gore-Tex, a.k.a. Lord Goat track. We need 2 more donations. So hit that super chat. 2 more donations, and I'll play the track live for the first time ever. Oh, snap. 1 more donation, y'all. 1 more donation, and I play the super chat. We almost there. 1 more. Oh, we got it. We got it. Oh, my bad. So I'm gonna pause. And we're gonna play this song right now. So let me give a little description of what we. But first, I'm gonna take a little sip. I'm on this. First of all, I want to thank you guys for participating in the super chats. Y'all made it happen. We got 10 super chats. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Matt Bank, I'm going to contribute super chat. He loves metal, Gore, Slayer, Testament, Metallica, Morbid Angel, both thrower all day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Matt Banks. Thank you, Anthony Quiles. Now, we're about to get into, yo, Stud, I just got to make sure when I press green, it's the last track, right? Okay, cool. Thank you. So I'm about to play this track. Jason, thank you, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My brother, Jason the Gadget, throwing it up on the. All right, so this track is called Toxic Holocaust. It's a track that will be released eventually. Myself and Lord Goat. Let me see if you could guess what it's about. I don't even want to describe it. I produced the track, and like I said, it's me and my brother, my homie, Lord Goat, a.k.a. Gore-Tex. For the first time ever, you about to hear this, so check it out.
Are stronger than us, or soon I think they be stronger than you.
28 weeks later, we face a contagion. War against the army of dead is waging. A George A. Romero flick of real life. A shot to the brains with a Glock or a steel pipe. We boarded up in the corner church. The priest said when hell is full, the dead is gonna walk the earth. We're looking at a slew of walkers slowly running out of food and water. Now we move into a brutal slaughter. Biochemical design my sick minds. I want my clique to survive like Rick Grimes. I click nines and dance into a warp thriller. A man of peace turn into a corpse killer. Dawn of the dead, endemic disorder to spread. Calling the feds to sweep it all under the bed. Dearly departed, rise toxic. With earthworms crawling out of his eye sockets. No constitution, anarchy running the streets. Semen cutting off food, smoke rising.
Lord Goat.
Appetite for death, humanoids and cannibal bite flesh. Television reports, quarantine with John Sesh. Hospital doctors dead, out of prescriptions. Projects locked down, 1,000 bodies, every window ripped in. Flesh hanging off walls, colors is gourmet. Taste the ribs in the shins, ate the cough by the doorway. Mondo Kane, 29 weeks, millions are dead. Not solely the tri-state, not upstate of defense. Orange sector, march of the pigs, and corned beef. Addiction sickness, carcasses and raw meat. 32 weeks, so food is murder is on fleek. Like Lucio Fusi ate the morgue in the week. Toxic Holocaust, they wrap the bodies in sheep. Supermarkets, Mickey Knox, I keep a shoddy when I sleep. 2027, live on dead. Nuclear dread, hospital filled, 42 bodies on 5 beds. Meat grinder, chemical agent, no time left. To die of that, your chosen test, eat your dying breath.
Woo! Flames, son. Flames. That was Toxic Holocaust by myself and my brother Lord Goat. Never played it live before. Full on. Obviously, for those that if the concept flew over your head, it was on some zombie apocalypse, Walking Dead type shit. We was just in that vibe, and we were real excited. And we got down. I put the track up, and we just killed it. And so that track will be coming out possibly during Halloween. It just feels fitting to get it out during the Halloween season. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for listening. Thank you guys for your donations, man. That was really dope, man, for real. That was really dope. That's the first time we ever did that, so thank you very much, man. Okay. Moving along on Vengeance is Mine. Remember, we're reviewing Vengeance is Mine on this episode. Now we are up to what I consider one of the more brutal tracks that I've ever written. I'm going to get to that, Jay. I'm going to get to that. We definitely going to talk about Rockstar. You got to talk about Buck 4 battling Ralphie at the Lehman Jam too, man. I don't know if you remember that shit. But, all right. So, the track Father's Day. That's what we're up to now. produced by Necro. This song is easily one of the most darkest songs I've ever written. It's based on my experience of how my brain was processing the situation that I was in. Now, I'm not here to throw my father under the bus. He and I are in a better place now. And we've healed. And we've had many a conversations. But at the time when I wrote the song, as I said, Vengeance is Mine is a public exorcism, and this is the peak of the exorcism. Father's Day is the peak of it. Father's Day was the most angriest. I came from the most angriest place possible in my mind and in my soul when I wrote this song. I had to relive my mind state as a preteen, as a kid that was going through abuse mentally and physically, and share with the audience, and a lot of people can relate, how a child processes. And in my case, the way I was looking at my situation, there was only two options. It was either kill myself, it was either unalive myself or unalive my father. Obviously, it didn't happen. But my truth was that's how I was processing what I was going through. It was a very volatile, dark, easily the darkest chapter of my life. I was lost. I was alone. My homie Jason, we all grew up a certain time period. And we all had our struggles. We all have some darkness. Jason knows the deal. He dealt with his parents, his darkness. I dealt with my parents, my darkness. Almost every kid on that block had some crazy shit going on behind closed doors. Father's Day was my truth. And it was the truth of a child trying to process something that didn't seem fair. Now, the conclusion is that as time went on, and that's where Between Heaven and Hell comes into play, the next album, but we're not going to get into that album in this episode. After putting out a song like that, I went on a soul journey. And part of it was understanding my parents and their decisions. And I realized that I couldn't fully blame them for who they were because their childhoods were worse than mine. So, unfortunately, they didn't break the chain at the time for me and my brother. So we paid the price. But as I got older and I did that searching, I was able to give my father grace. I was able to give my mother grace and understand them better. And then heal together. And then you start to learn that love between parent and child. And although it's not a normal love, but you still try to approach it in a certain way. So that song was a necessary song for me. Not just to share my truth and to be relatable to other people. And obviously, along with the setup, I got a lot of DMs about Father's Day. And a lot of people, a lot of us have went through that. Abuse. And you have to get to that point where you have to break the chain. If you ask my son, I broke the chain. My son is a privileged child. My son grew up with love and care. And I think it was because of what I saw that I vowed to myself I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be that person. But it also allowed me to learn about not just my parents, but just people in general. You know, people are born into situations, and sometimes it's kind of hard to rewire and reprogram to do the right thing because we're beaten into these programs. Pardon me if I went on a bit of a tangent with this song is one of those songs, man. Thank you, Martin Vasquez. Thank you. Thank you, Dab. Thank you, Dab the Ripper. Thank you. Victoria, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sarah, what up, Crodra? Sarah, thank you. Good. Thank you for being in the room. Pardon me for taking the mood down, but, you know, we're speaking about Vengeance is Mine, and Father's Day is just, you know, again, it's an untouched song. Like I told you, all the, you know, rapidy rap street shit, like I fixed it and I redone it and that it is. But the songs like to set up Father's Day, those songs don't get touched because those are truth. Those are songs of truth, my story. And those songs mean so much to the listeners that have invested in what it is that I do. It's become medicine for them. And I'm thankful that one of my songs is medicine. That one of my songs is relatable like that. And I pray that any of you that have been through a situation like that you're on the other side of it and you're in a better place and you're in a better place of understanding and you've broken the chain. That's all I'll say about Father's Day. Thank you. Okay. All right, that's page number 3. We up to page 4. We're almost there. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it. I hear you, Matt, and I pray that you're in a better place, brother. I pray. Thank you. Okay, so now we're up to the 4th page here. Psychological Warfare, produced by Necro. This easily was the first and last time that I would ever dedicate that much energy to a song of that nature, and I'll explain why. It's not my lane. It's not my lane to talk politics. It really isn't. It's not. It's not for me. I don't want to lead anyone astray. I don't want to push anyone into an opinion. I think when it comes to politics or the political climate, I think you should do your due diligence and do your research and find the truth. I wouldn't take anything anyone says in a meme as the word of God. I would really do my research, and qunique is not the one for it. I am here to be a musician. I am not here to make a political statement. When I re-released Vengeance is Mine, I almost left this song off. But I knew that a lot of you have love for the song. I'm not there, man. I don't have an opinion. And whatever opinion I do have, it's nobody's business. That's how I feel. I ain't trying to fight with people over a political agenda because we could all be dead tomorrow. And what the hell did the argument prove? Doesn't matter. What matters to me is spreading love. What matters to me is just loving the ones I'm with. What matters to me is just having a good time and making you guys feel dope about yourselves and about your situation and encouraging you to follow your dreams and your passions. That's what matters to me. A political agenda don't matter to me. I didn't sign up for that. That's Immortal Techniques lane. That's Dead Prez, Public Enemy. Go to them if you want to hear that. I salute them. I salute them because that's their thing. That's not my thing. I'm not the authority on that. That was to me, I feel like psychological warfare was just carelessness on my part. I was watching something at the time during that time period, and I only had half the story and didn't fully understand or grasp. And I remember the effects of it because I remember going to like Australia and saying what I said about 9/11 or whatever. And someone from the Middle East was in the audience and they had to educate me. But the story doesn't even matter because it's not my lane at the end of the day. So I apologize. You won't hear me talking politics on a song or on a live feed. This is the extent. This is not my lane. Let somebody else do that. Know what I mean? Thank you, Martin. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much, man. Thank you, Bull. Thank you, Pops. Love you for that. Thank you very much. We're going to talk about that song in a later episode. Okay. Okay, so now we approach fashion victims. Thank you, Matt Banks. I appreciate that. What's up, Donna? What's going on? Thank you, Donatella. All right, we're up to fashion victims. Fashion victims is an interesting song, man, because it could be dark, but sometimes darkness could either be cool or funny, depending on how you are. I sometimes I can find the beauty in darkness or the comedy in it. You know, life is life, right? Fashion Victims, I produced the song. It started as an idea that was given to me by Pop Master Fable. For those that don't know who Pop Master Fable is, Pop Master Fable was a member of the Rocksteady crew, the Magnificent Force. He was in Wild Style. He was in, I believe he's in, maybe might have been in Style Wars. He was in Beat Street. He's an OG. He's a legend. Original Boogie Boy, all of that stuff. That's a king, right? Zulu King, Zulu, all of that. He gave me the idea. Initially, we was going to write something for a movie he was doing. And then eventually I took the idea and ran with it and expanded on it. The idea is based on stick-up kids back in New York City. For those that don't know who stick-up kids are, stick-up kids sounds like what you think it is. It's a kid, you know, usually in his teenage, preteen, just stick you up for your jewelry, for your jacket, for your hat, for your glasses, for your sneakers. That's how it was in New York, son. For those that know, riding the train, stick-up kids, man, that was a nasty pitfall. Jason knows the deal. He'll tell you, man, stick-up kids was running wild in New York City, especially Brooklyn. That's why we call it Crooklyn. Thank you, the Bull, with the donations. Thank you, Bull. Love you, Pops. Thank you. So the song is based on a stick-up kid going on a rampage through New York City. Now, I know kids that have dealt with stick-up kids through the years, man. And even, look, I've even been approached by stick-up kids. I remember one of these homies gave me his sheepskin coat because I couldn't afford no sheepskin coat. I think I traded him a gold chain that my grandmother gave me. Sorry, Grandma. Sorry, Abuela. But I traded him my gold chain for his sheepskin coat. I wanted it. I was late in the game. I didn't have no money for no sheepskin coat. And I traded him this gold chain that I got as a gift for a sheepskin coat so I could be fly at school. Stupid shit. And the minute I put that coat on, I became a target. I was a kid, man. I don't even think I was a teenager yet. And so many times I almost got robbed for that sheepskin coat, almost got stabbed for the sheepskin coat, got bullied for the sheepskin coat. I won't even say the name of the homie. I know Jason, like if I say the name, Jason knows exactly. Donatella with the donation. Thank you, Donatella. Love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's up, Andrea? Welcome to the lab. But Stick Up Kids was a serious thing. But this song, I try to make a little light of it. You know, it's like dark comedy in a sense. But it was also clever because what I wanted to do with the song was and it was Fable's idea. He wanted me to say the name brands and the types of clothing that was being robbed because it was putting stick-up kid culture with how hip-hop heads would dress back in the day. And then I advanced it. So in the first verse, I'm talking about Lees and Kangos and Gazelles and all of that. And then later on, on the second verse, I talk about Fat Farm and, Rockaware and Evisu and all of that stuff, bringing what I knew, the fashion from the 90s and the early 2000s into the mix. And so it was a way of giving flowers to fashion and also acknowledging stick-up kid culture in New York City. So that's the deal with Fashion Victims, and I produced that one. Stone Cold, another one produced by me. And again, same some old fly shit, singing on the hook. I think I was really inspired by 50 Cent at the time. 50 Cent's mixtape had dropped, and then he dropped Get Rich or Die Trying, and he was singing on everything, and I was hyped because everybody was inspired by 50 at that time. And so that was the one time, or maybe the second time, that I think, I also sang on Better You Than Me. So, and The Ugly Place. So there was a little bit of being inspired by 50 Cent, and Stone Cold was one of those examples. And lastly, This Thing of Ours, also produced by yours truly. This Thing of Ours it's not the first time that myself and Ill Bill collaborated. We collaborated the first time when Nonfiction and the Arsonists got together to do 14 Years of Rap. Gotta give applause to that song. That's one of my all-time favorite songs I've ever recorded in my life. Yeah, exactly, Sarah. You know the deal. It's like sometimes you just gotta laugh when things go into chaos. So This Thing of Ours is that first twist of me and Bill trading bars. It's like the primitive, like, prototype of what later on, like somebody mentioned, Listen to the Words. It's me and Bill trading bars on that. Me and Bill, Ill Bill, who executive produced this album, we traded bars on a lot of songs. And so This Thing of Ours was that first, like, yo, we're going to go back and forth on the third verse. And it's one of my all-time favorite songs I've ever recorded with Bill. And if you hear the beat that I put together for that, and it's like the whole thing is just that punch you in your face, and we're saying a lot of fly punchlines, and at the end we trade like a paragraph, and then it would spawn and evolve into me and Bill every time we got together, whether it's Cult Leader in Capital or like I said, Listen to the Words, and so on and so forth. We would trade bars, and it was just, the chemistry has gotten stronger over the years. And so it was brilliant to be able to do that song because it set off this journey for me and Bill. And so that's the deal on This Thing of Ours. Now, there was a couple of bonus tracks on the re-release: Time, Ain't Safe. And those songs feature Sabak. Now, It Ain't Safe should have been on Vengeance Is Mine. I think we didn't put it on because we just had way too many songs, which kind of like a lame thing now when I look at it. I wish it would have just stayed on. But it did get released. It did get released on the flip side of the Setup single. So if you have this single, the Setup, it's on the flip side of that. And me rocking with Sabak, for those that know Sabak, me and Sabak ended up going to high school together in Brooklyn. So I've known him the longest out of all the members of Nonfiction. I tell the story in the Nonfiction episode. But It Ain't Safe is, just talking about life and street shit, and just telling people the pitfalls and all of that of just street life. Just pretty simple. I produced that song as well. Matt Bank, Listening Problem. I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna give you a brief description because there's going to be I'm going to break it down better in the episode that I do for Between Heaven and Hell, because that's a Between Heaven and Hell song. But the quick synopsis, the quick definition of Listening Problem is my brother had just passed away. And I was at a weird place. When you lose a brother or a sibling, you go into a dark place. And it was, losing him and going through the challenges of life, going through the challenges of being in the music industry. It's just, you start talking to God and you feel like, yo, you listening? Is there a listening problem? Like, can you hear me? So that's the quick version of it. But I will explain it more in another episode when I do all between heaven and hell. Let me see what else we got. I know you said. As far as collaborating with Thurston, I did a song. What was it called? Prize Fighters. Now, Thurston is supposed to be on that song. It was for one of his albums or his mixtapes. So I did technically submit something. It's me, Ill Bill. It's called Prize Fighters. Thurston is supposed to be on it. I don't remember. I once I recorded, I kind of like forgot about the song. But I would love to collaborate with Thurston again, man. I've known Thurston forever, so it would be dope, man. Thank you, Matt. What song did you do on The Circle? Oh my goodness, Jay, yo, you crazy for that, son. That's the early days, man. That's like demo stuff that never came out. It might have been The Crowd's a Witness or Ladies and Gentlemen, qunique. Jason, see, that's what I mean. Jason DeGaglia, he knows. He was there for when, like, I was going to Dr. Def's Lil Rascal studio and just making demos. I didn't even have a record out yet, so he was there, man. He was really there, man. I'm sorry for that, Matt. You know, salute to you, and I pray for strength for you and your family, man. You know, and I'm well aware it's a rough spot to be in, man, for reals. How did you, DJ FM, Sick Jacker, come to doing the Street Mixes compilation? You know, we've known Jackin for quite some time. Jackin is on Between Heaven and Hell. I've done songs with Jackin. I'm on a song with Jackin and Bill on the Black Metal album as well. I think Black Metal is the name of the song. We just met, just being in you know, in the underground scene, and you cross paths, you do shows together. And it's almost like certain people you're just kind of like-minded in your style of hip hop. Jackin to me is incredible in what he does, production wise, lyric wise, Ill Bill, all of them. And you know, it's just been an honor to have been able to collaborate with Jackin through the years. So that's the deal with Jackin and how we met and all of that. Yes, sir, Jason. That was in Queens, Jamaica, Queens, or I can't remember the name of the other place. What is it? Hillside, Jamaica, right? Hillside. I think it's called Hillside. Thank you, Martin. Thank you for doing the footwork to come and find me, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that, man. There's plenty of catalog for you to listen to, and I appreciate you being here, man, for reals. Thank you for your support. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this was quite the episode, man. Just going into the Vengeance is Mine. We reviewed Vengeance is Mine. We did a quick review of Vengeance is Mine. Today, here's the original vinyl, still in the shrink wrap. Very, very rare pressing to find at this point, man. Very, very rare pressing. So as far as announcements, like I said, and let me go back to this. If you're in the no, wait, did I do that right? Yes, there we go. If you're in the LA area tomorrow night for Excursions Radio, I'm going to be doing a quick little jam session with the band. They are graduates from the Herbie Hancock Music Institute. These guys are like prodigies, musical jazz prodigies, and they're amazing. Tomorrow night, there'll be their 7-year anniversary. We're going to be playing at the Paper Tiger Bar in LA. So if you get a chance to come out and support, it'd be really cool. Come check it out. I get to do a song with these incredible musicians. It's going to be really dope. So if you get a chance to see that, that'd be really cool, man. Any other announcements? The next qunique release will probably be in about, let me see, where are we? We're approaching September, probably by the end of September or October. But there will be new music videos. As I said, I'm going to be diving into my catalog and shooting brand new videos for older songs like I did for the Setup and Listening Problem that was mentioned earlier. So I will be approaching these songs. So if there's any favorite songs you have in the catalog, you know, Shoot them away, man. Help me with my ideas, man. And don't forget where we got the grab bag at, man. I don't see it. Oh, here we go. Don't forget, man. And it's the description in we got the description in excuse me, we got the link in the description. We got qunique merch. We got, these are called designer rhymes. This is the tote bag of BK. It's only the Brooklyn Bridge, the Brooklyn lyrics. It's on a tote bag. We also got the diamond in the, so I'm showing you, if you hit the description, hit the link in the description, you could check out all the different merch. I'm just giving you certain pieces. This is the diamond in the rough shirt. All the lyrics to diamond in the rough in the shape of a diamond on a shirt. Real fly shit right here. You can get it. The link is in the description. Designer rhymes. We got a journal. Hardcover journal. You could write, your thoughts, your rhymes, your poems, your journal, your bills, your accounting, whatever you need. It's dope. It's all my lyrics. But it's also got, there's other versions. There's Diamond in the Rough. There's Green Grass. There's Chestnut Checkers. Those are all the different things that you would get on the cover. That's the journal. What else we got? Oh, I think this is, this is the Diamond in the Rough hoodie. Boom, right there. The Diamond in the Rough lyrics on the hoodie. Real fly shit. And you saw the tote bag already. So the link is in the description to get yourself one of the designer rhymes. So it's, as you saw, it's Diamond in the Rough on a shirt, hoodie, tote bag, journal. It's Green Grass, the same thing, t-shirt, hoodie, tank top, tote bag, journal, Chestnut Checkers, and BK. Those are the 4 songs right now that are part of the whole qunique designer rhymes collection. The link is in the description, and then I appreciate your support. You guys are amazing. Let me see. Let me get back to the comments here. Thank you, my brother Jason DeGaglia. Love you, bro. Sarah Harvey, I am waiting to get back to Australia. The last time I was there, I actually posted a pic on my YouTube channel. If you go to my posts, there's a pic of me, Rock Raider, and Lord Finesse. That's when we went out to Australia to do our tour. And it was an amazing time. Rest in peace, DJ Rock Raider, one of the greatest turntablists of all time. It was an amazing experience to be out there with 2 legends. And, man, I can't wait to get back out there, man, So let's see what's up with that. Thank you for your question, Sarah. Who else we got? Yes. Matt Banks, Soundgarden. I'm a grunge head. I love metal. Like my favorite, some people, obviously, look, I love the OGs. I love Metallica, Iron Maiden. I love all the OGs, Black Sabbath, all of that. But my heart of hearts, I'm a grunge head. I am a Soundgarden. I am, if you see over here, I got Alice in Chains, set list, Soundgarden figures. On the other side, I got Pearl Jam. That's what I connect to, but I'm also a Gojira head, Mastodon, Parkway Drive, love my metal. Obviously, my brothers in Korn, my brothers in POD. The list goes on and on. Mudvayne, like I could go on forever. I've been blessed with being able to tour with a lot of these bands, being able to work with a lot of these bands, but that'll be a later episode. We'll get into that for sure. Let me get into these other questions. Another 5-minute session. My man Jay, man. Matt Bank, I did collab with Shabazz the Disciple. I didn't rap. I produced a track. It's called Thieves in the Night. It's on the album Book of Shabazz. So if you hear the original version, I produced that version. The credit is there. And I spoke about it on one of my shorts. So if you go into my short section, it's like the first or second short that I ever shot. And it's about, maybe, I don't know if it's the first or second, but it's an early short. And I speak about that collaboration and working with Shabazz the Disciple. So the best way to support me is to stream the music, go to the Bandcamp link, buy merch from the Designer Rhymes to any of the t-shirts that are on Amazon. I got Arsonist t-shirts up there, qunique t-shirts up there. Or if you go to the website, qunique.com, q-unique.com, you could buy the CDs. There's only a few Vengeance is Mine CDs, the original pressing. There's a few Mechanic CDs left, and there's the Vengeance is Mine commemorative collector's coin. There's only a handful of those left, and there's some Arsonist pins. So those, any of those is showing support and spreading the word, telling a friend, getting into the catalog and all of that good stuff. So thank you for that question. I appreciate that for reals, man. Matt Banks, I think it's on Battle Axe. That's a good question. I think it is, man. So as we are coming to the close of this episode, I just want to thank you. Thank you so very much for sitting with me and going through this process of just, educating you the best that I could on my first solo release, Vengeance is Mine. I got to thank you guys for showing so much love for that album. And I appreciate your patience of me when the 20th anniversary came and I reapproached some of the songs. I thank you guys for the love and understanding where I am mentally with why I changed things, and just overall, just thank you for your support. I got to thank everyone that was involved. Ill Bill, DJ Eclipse, Necro, Juju, Context, Increments and Instruments, Swell, E-Dot, Gore-Tex, Sabak, Necro, Fat Beats, Uncle Howie Records, just everything about that album. I appreciate it. It jumpstart everything and put me around the world. It's just a very important album in my career, and for a lot of people, it's their favorite, and I appreciate the love that you've given me. The album is now going to be 21 years old, and thank you guys for celebrating and continuing to show love for that album. Oh, yes, thank you, Jason. Today is my superhero's birthday, KRS-One, who I've gotten to rock with. You see the poster right there, KRS-One with the Arsonist. I've recently jumped on stage with KRS-One a couple of months ago. Chris is easily one of the most influential MCs in my career, and happiest of birthdays to that, man. He is a superhero to me. So, yes. Thank you, Matt Bank. I definitely will. All right, so I'm coming to the close, but we're going to go into the booth. Now, for the replay, the booth isn't going to be a part of it, so I'm going to forewarn you now. But remember, hit the description, hit the notification button. Come here next week, next Wednesday. We're going to have a whole new topic. Might even have a guest real soon, so make sure you're in the room for that. Thank you guys for being a part of Live from the Lab with Q Unique. This is episode 7. You guys are amazing for just sitting with me and just either laughing it or feeling where I'm coming from and just listening to the lyrics, listening to the music. It means a lot to me, yo. We're about to go into the booth, ladies and gentlemen. Let me, I think, which button we going for? Number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So we're going to set it off right now. This is my theme music to walk in. I don't hear it. There we go. Stutters be looking at me like, yo, man, he's never going to get this right. So we're about to go into the booth. So stand by. One, two. Yes, y'all. 1, 2. Yes, y'all. 1, 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into this, and we're going to say peace from the booth tonight. Tonight, we're going to do something off of Vengeance is Mine. It's only right. Y'all prep. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, my name is Q Unique. This was Live from the Lab, episode 7. I love y'all. Thank you for the love and support. Thank you for hanging out with me. See y'all next Wednesday. Same time, same channel. Peace.